Good morning everyone. Today I am teaching you 5 awesome effects in camera without props. Let's do this. No, that wasn't
Good morning everyone. Today we're sharing with you 5 awesome in-camera effects you can do without props. Let's go. I think that's better, right? Alright guys, welcome to a new episode and welcome to you, Eric.
Thanks for having me.
Guys, alright, today is a very special episode because I've got Eric here who is joining me. Eric is a wedding photographer in Chicago and we want to share with you 5 awesome creative effects that you can do in camera without needing any props. Because as you may know, there are a ton of videos about how you can do so many things with so many items. But what if you don't have access to fumes,
Prisms.
prism, fumigens, weird balls, whatever you want to call it. We want to show you that. So we're gonna try with you guys. There are gonna be 5, right, Eric?
5.
5 of them. Let's go shoot outside. All right, guys. Number five. What is number 5, Eric? What do you suggest?
Number 5, I love doing a double exposure in camera.
Oh.
So I might select a photo from earlier in the day that I took and layer another photo on top of it, or I might take one with the interest of putting another one on top of it as well to create an interesting portrait.
Do you do it in your camera,
Yeah,
or do you
in
do
the
it in
camera.
post?
Yeah.
Oh, you can do it in camera?
In the camera, on a lot of different models, all sorts of cameras. I have the 5D Mark IV. It's really easy because you could see the image on the screen while you take the second image.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, you're gonna show us?
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So how do you select a good image? What's a good image for double exposure?
A good image for a double exposure is usually something that has a lot of darkness in it. So a lot of times when I'm doing it with a portrait with a person, I like to make them a silhouette, make them really dark, and then fill in that darkness with the second frame.
Cool. Let's shoot it. Let's try
It'll
one.
feel weird, but like lean towards me.
I'm the cobaye.
And then, yeah, like that. So I got a portrait of you turning to one side with the silhouette of your head. So I'm gonna go to the creative tool for the double exposure, turn it on, and then I select which image I wanna use for the double exposure. I'm gonna go for that one. And once it's selected, I can go to my live view mode and it's selected there, and I can start layering things on top of that exposure.
So after you choose how you want to layer it straight in your camera.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So I'm gonna adjust the exposure so it's a lot brighter, and I'm gonna go over here to the train tracks, and I'm gonna layer with all these lines. All these lines here will be really interesting for the portrait, so we can get all the leading lines to your face.
How do you feel about the result on the first one?
It was okay. A lot of times it takes a few tries to get it perfect or to get it anywhere near like what you want or what you like. So I like taking a few frames just to make it look different and interesting. I can already tell that this way is gonna be a lot more interesting.
You prefer the second one, right?
Yeah, so after a few trials, you figure different things that you can shoot as the second photo, and after a few, you usually are happy with the latter ones that you did.
So now, guys, you've got double exposure. You can try check on your camera if you can do it. You could also do it in Photoshop in post after. That's a little trick.
But that's not in camera.
But that's not in camera, exactly.
That's what this video is all about.
Exactly, thank you for reminding me. So now we're gonna go to number 4. All right, guys, number 4, as we mentioned, number 4, what do you call it?
I call it the tilt shift effect without a tilt shift lens. So another thing that I do is use a tilt shift lens a lot, where it changes the vertical plane of focus to kind of diagonal.
It makes those weird effects, let me translate it. It makes those weird effects where you feel like the top of the image is kind of blurry, but it's kind of a very interesting effect. You've got also awesome time lapses that can be done like that, and then it looks like it's miniature images. So in theory, you would need a lens, right?
Yeah, I mean, ideally you would like to have a tilt shift lens, but if you don't have that, because they're kind of expensive, I just have a 24mm fixed lens right here, and all I do is I take the lens off of the mount of the camera, and then I kind of work it around and bring it up off of the body of the camera while looking through the viewfinder to see which way I can distort the image and blur it out. So I pick a focus point, like the car here, this yellow car, and I get it in focus, and I try to get everything above it out of focus by pulling the lens away.
So that's
from
the
camera.
trick. Get your point in focus and get what is above
Out of
blurry.
focus. Yeah, usually that's how
Cool.
most tilt shift shots look.
Here's the result, guys. Let us know what you think. Alright guys, number three is kind of special because you can't do it.
Yeah, because
Right
I only
now.
shoot prime lenses.
He only shoots primes, that's crazy. The one I want to suggest to you guys, a cool camera effect, is simply doing a pull zoom when you're doing a fairly long exposure. For example, anything under half a second works. So it's super simple. You take your camera with your zoom lens, and while you're shooting it, you actually turn the zoom. And this is the kind of result you see. It looks kind of as if you were in a tunnel and doing a long exposure. I think it's kind of a cool effect. It's super easy, and it just gets you different kind of shots because it's good to change things up. Alright guys, number two is getting really good. What is it, Eric?
We're doing tracking. So
What is it?
Tracking is when you're photographing a moving subject, but you're isolating it by slowing your shutter down. So usually I'll shoot this with a wide angle lens like a 24 or a 35, and I'll try to keep my shutter speed right around that number as well. So like 1/20, maybe a little bit slower, 1/30. And I'm gonna follow the subject as it moves past my frame so that I lock in the focus on that subject and everything else kind of blurs out so it focuses right in on it.
It sounds pretty simple. We're gonna show you how it works, but the trick is to really follow at the same speed. Ready to show?
Yeah,
Let's go.
All right, so I'm on the street now. I'm at 1/25 of a second, and I raise my aperture just to compensate for that with exposure. And as the cars are going by, I'm panning with them at the same speed to try to capture them and isolate them as they move by.
Are you on AFS, AFC?
I don't...
One shot?
One shot, yep. Single point autofocus in the center, and I back button focus, and I am on one shot with Canon. So I'm gonna move with the cars as they're going by at the same speed that they're going. Here's a red car. Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, that's pretty cool. You guys can see on the screen. And there is something to know when you do that at night, it looks absolutely epic.
I haven't done it at night. I got
You haven't tried?
No.
Oh, dude. Oh.
Dang it.
You have to try at night because it looks absolutely sick with all the lights in the city. For the last one, guys, for number one, we're gonna get back inside. Our hands just froze. All right, number one, guys, we are back. We are back inside because we started to freeze a little bit too much. What is the last one, Eric? What do you think? What is a cool creative effect you can get in your camera?
It's simply just shooting through things. Shooting creatively and using the objects that are around you to isolate subjects, to fill the frame with different stuff, so that it's not just empty or missing components.
Yeah, I feel like it is the easiest effect anyone can do. You can do it with your phone, you can do it with your camera, with absolutely anything you have. And it's something that is often overlooked. A lot of, you might have seen the trendy videos where people put prism and all that in front of the camera. That's cool, but why not use any object you have around you? You don't need accessories. You can take a tree, you can take a pole in the street. There's a ton of objects you can use. And I think so Eric is a wedding photographer, guys. If you're still watching and you still don't know who Eric is, he's a wedding photographer. Eric, do you use that a lot when you do
all
weddings?
the time. Yeah,
really?
So a lot of times, like when I'm shooting, getting ready stuff in a hotel room or an Airbnb, I'm shooting through like furniture and lamps and shades and all sorts of stuff to fill the frame, just create something that's more interesting than what's shot every single time at every single hotel at every single getting ready.
That's awesome, and you guys can have seen, as I just put on the screen, a few of your examples, but I think it's a great way, and especially when you do wedding or when you do street, to really draw the attention to only what you want. Get rid of everything else that doesn't bring any value to your image. So great effect, and if you try it out, let us know how you like it. And guys, Well, first of all, let's all thank Eric. You can go check out his channel. He's got some cool video about what do you call that thing with the portrait?
Oh, the Brennheiser.
Brennheiser portrait.
method,
Yeah. Is it with that lens?
No, it's with an 85mm fixed
85 millimeter fixed lens. Yeah, I keep forgetting it was slightly complex, but it's something I'd never seen before. I had seen the result. It's pretty cool. You can check it out on his channel. Yeah, Eric, thanks a lot.
Yeah, appreciate it.
2 more videos in Chicago with Eric. Maybe. I mean, if you downvote, no. If you upvote, yes. Just kidding, guys. All right, guys. With that being said, remember, if you're new to this channel, make sure you hit the SUVSTV button, ring that notification bell. It's gonna make a huge dong. It's gonna be awesome, and we will see you in the next episode. Guys, get out there, go shoot, try something different, try something new. Bye. You need
Good. I need more what?
You need more punch.
More punch. Okay, I'll do it. I was nervous on that one. Okay, here we go.
What's your name? What's your line?
Eric Floberg. I'm 27 and I have about 3 years of modeling experience.
Cool. What is your line today?
Who let the cat out of the bag?
No, your line was, who let the dogs out?
Good morning, everyone. Today I am teaching you 5 awesome in-camera tricks. Tricks?
Effects.
Effects. Okay, ready?